lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live with the Raw Recap Show. Man, I don't even know where to start to unpack. Obviously, we have a new WrestleMania match, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. I mean, this Raw was, till the end, like it was kind of, you know, that they did a lot of storytelling, going back to, you know, a couple of weeks ago with CM Punk asking Roman Reigns who the real tribal chief is. Obviously, paying attention to everything that's being said. And what's going on, Alexis? Good to see you. Paying attention to everything that CM Punk said a couple of weeks ago in his promo about who the tribal chief is. Obviously, you see all the backstage stuff with the Usos. Jay Usos is acting unhinged. Yeah, a lot of stuff you can really tell as far as the direction they're going. But we do have a new WrestleMania match. It's AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. I still feel like there's going to be some sort of stipulation. Oh, I'm sorry, Alexis. I still have your comment up there. Raw was good tonight. I feel like it told a lot of stories. The ending, I think the ending was obviously the best. I think there was a lot of slow moments, but you can kind of tell the direction that they're going with a lot of stuff. Still no Gunther, which I don't even want to begin to wonder what's going on with that. It looks like what I said a few weeks ago about the Asuka Sky stuff. I thought they were getting away from it. I thought they had pivoted, but it looks like they have not. They're gonna go ahead and run the Io and Raquel next week in Madison Square Garden. Looks like they're gonna do the tag title match early, which I don't know. That's very interesting. I guess they want a big show at MSG. Next week we're gonna have the Usos, who they're basically upon Austin Theory tonight. But it was non-title. This time next week at MSG, the titles are gonna be on the line in a street fight. So that's interesting that they're gonna run that now instead of WrestleMania. I don't know what the plan is for the Usos and Logan Paul and Austin Theory at WrestleMania now. It's a street fight, so it's not going to be some sort of DQ. So who knows where they're going with that. They're going to circle back to the Asuka stuff. Maybe Kyrie could be a triple threat. A lot of stuff pretty much taking shape, but where's Gunther? The man that retired, John Cena, AJ Styles, and also Goldberg. 3 straight Raws that we've seen nothing from the career killer. But the storytelling of this, last week, a lot of content creators, and obviously I talked about it on Scoops yesterday. A lot of stuff that Punk and Roman were supposed to say last week got kind of scrapped due to somebody, whether it was AJ Lee or CM Punk, I don't really know. The direction of which, whether it was AJ or I think I was told it was from several people that was AJ Lee that maybe said something about bringing Larry up in. I don't know that for a fact. But I know a lot of content creators were really bitching last week about they felt like the promo was kind of flat, I guess, with Punk just getting called old. You can definitely tell they picked it up this week. We saw glimpses of the old Roman Reigns, the 2020, but you could see him shoving Adam Pearce's arm out of the way. Obviously, he attacked Punk. We got some physicality, no blood, but we did get some physicality tonight. We got a little bit of it last week. Obviously, they're saving all the blood and shit for Randy and Cody, I'm sure. But there's a bigger story being told here because the family's getting involved. You heard Roman tell Jimmy that they had a tag title match next week and to get out of his ring. But then you heard Jay barking out orders. Jay went in for the kill on Punk. Jimmy went over there, but he didn't throw a punch on Punk. So there's certain stuff that you don't need a source for. You could pay attention to. I don't know. CM Punk's laughing at the end. Just crazy. Great segment. I think this is what their feud needed because there was a lot of chatter going on about which match was going to main event. I think this is definitely the one that needs to main event because Cody and Randy's got a great story, but I think something big's going to happen at the end of night 2. So shout out to DWE Content for reposting straight. StreamYard's changed up a bunch of shit since I've been on here yesterday. Now they're only letting me generate six sets of shorts a month. And I do fucking 5 streams a week. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be pretty particular on which shorts I put out. May only be able to do 2 a week or something like that. Some shows just won't have shorts because I don't have the time to go in and manually put them in. So yeah, StreamYard's a bitch with that shit. Already paying almost $50 a month for this shit. So I can still have 10 guests, which is great. Looks like they added some new thing where you can generate thumbnails. I don't know. I don't get on here except for to stream, so I don't know all the new features. We'll give you guys a quick update. I did go to the doctor today. They ran a bunch of tests. Had an ultrasound done on both of my legs. The only hiccup was my right calf was really swollen. So they had a little bit of difficulties with the ultrasound on my right calf. But the good news is there's no blood clots. So now we just kind of move on to see what's causing the swelling and stuff like that. But obviously it's not a blood clot. So thank God for that. I just got to try to, I am working out 3 times a week, so it's just one of those things when you get older, But I feel a lot better today. Legs feel a lot better. A lot of it was probably stress and nerves and stuff like that. When that stuff starts happening. But thank you everybody that reached out and commented, obviously. On my post on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you guys want to call it. But I'm good. I don't know when I'll see a doctor again. Obviously, I looked at the results myself, but no blood clots, so that's always a good thing. Because I was really worried that I was starting to feel it a little bit in my chest, but like I said, it just could have been nerves. But yeah. I'm not going anywhere, God willing, anytime soon. So I enjoy coming on here. This is my getaway from everyday life. So I'm thankful to still be on here with you guys 5 times a week. So yeah, thank you guys for the comments and the text and all the concern. The Usos won't need the titles to interfere repeatedly in the Punk Roman match at Mania. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Jimmy, though. I have a funny feeling that Jay is probably going to help Roman. Jimmy is not. I think that's going to ultimately cause a rift between the Usos. I still think Roman probably wins the match unless Dwayne shows up. The Rock, I don't know. It's they're making it. They're making that match very unpredictable. But I don't know what does Logan Paul and Austin Theory do unless Logan Paul is going to do something with Brady. Yeah, it looks like we are headed for another Jimmy J match. I can see that. Jay looks like he's taking over. Roman was taking orders from Jay. So, yeah. A lot to unpack here on that. This is your Raw Recap. Monday, March 23rd, 2026. We're live on the UP show on X and on Miami's X. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot better now. There's a lot more. Jimmy's got a lot better. I think Jimmy's great anyway. But we'll see what I think it'll be way better than the first time. The one thing I don't understand about WWE is the way WWE brings part-timers in. Look at the current talent. Yeah, I'm not gonna get on that subject. That's Roman Reigns has earned his schedule. I'm not the diehard Roman fan I was, a few years ago, but he's earned his schedule. So, he's wants to be a family man, and that's respectable. He's got, several kids, wife. Put a lot of time into the business when he was champ for 4 years, even before. So I'm not going to get into the whole part-time stuff. That's discussion for another day, another podcast. Ultimately, I don't make those decisions. That's TKO. Roman's a big-time player for TKO, brings in the big money. So it is what it is. Now, whether they keep Roman the champ, I don't think we're going to see him champion for 4 years again. Like I said yesterday on Scoops, I do think that Obafemi is going to be champion before the end of 2026. So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. It could go either way. I know a lot of people want Dwayne to get involved, and that's why I keep telling everybody I don't think The Rock should have anything to do with Cody and Randy. I can see it from a Cody standpoint, but why the fuck would he be talking to the Randy? What's he have to do with Randy? So I think he would be more tied to this bloodline story if isn't he filming, by the way? I don't know. Cody Rhodes must turn heel at WrestleMania. I think so too. I think WWE needs to pull the trigger. Now, whether they will, it remains to be seen. They waited 5+ years with Roman Reigns, 10 to 15 years with John Cena. I don't know if there's anybody that could take Cody's spot as that person. Punk obviously could if he was 10 years younger. But Punk's up there in age. So who's going to take Cody's spot? Showing up every week and going to all the signings, all the meet and greets. I mean, we know that Roman's the biggest draw in the company. That's there's no disputing on that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not discrediting Roman as being the biggest draw. What I'm saying is who's going to take Cody's spot as being that big, huge baby face. There is no one. I mean, Oba could be that person, but he just got into the company, so he's not ready to step into Cody's shoes yet. I think that's if they don't turn Cody, that's the reason why. It's because there's nobody that can fill in his his shoes. But if it was me, I have him turn at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes turning heel is not for a fucking SmackDown. That was a WrestleMania moment for sure. I would love to see it. I want to see it. I've been wanting it for a long time. But we'll see. The fans are already going to be cheering. Oh, 100%. I mean, but this is so. What I was explaining, Stampede, obviously, I was seeing it a few days on the stream, but this is the same story that obviously Orton's not retiring, but they're running the same angle for the last 3 years with Cody getting him bloodied. You know, they rooted for Cena last year. Cody got booed out of Allegiant Stadium last year in Las Vegas, so looks like they're going to do it again this year. We'll see what happens Friday if the fans start booing. They're going to be in St. Louis. I believe it's maybe the week of Stand and Deliver. I don't know. I think it's the SmackDown before Stand and Deliver. We'll see. I think now's the time that I think they have to pull the trigger. So a couple quick announcements before we get started with the Raw recap. Obviously, WrestleMania Sunday. I will not be doing a Sunday Scoops, as that is night 2. WrestleMania starts early, so there will be no Sunday Scoops on April the 19th. Starting April 26th, 11:30 p.m. There's going to be 2 shows coming to the EVP show on Sunday. We'll have Sunday Scoops at 6. Start April 26th. I will be covering season 3 of LFG. So looking forward to that. Also, I have a post out on X. We're full right now, but I always like to keep people on the waiting list in case people drop. April the 1st, which is next Wednesday, will be. I'll probably make a tweet out tomorrow again. Just double checking with everyone. Next Wednesday, April 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern, will be the Stand and Deliver prediction show. We have a full house for Stand and Deliver. Hopefully keep it that way. But I do have a couple of spots open for WrestleMania prediction show, which will be April the 15th. Like I said, I'll make another post tomorrow and Wednesday. Stand and Deliver is closer. Obviously, it's next Wednesday. The prediction show. The pay-per-view is not Stand and Deliver is not until next Saturday, but the Stand and Deliver prediction show is going to be April 1st, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So you guys tune in. Obviously, I'll be joined by Stampede. I'm Chris from FTCS Podcast, Lou, Lady Alpha from one half of the Wrestling Divas Podcast, Carlos, Gus, Sean, Panda, Caleb. I'd have to go. New guy that Stampede got into the panel. I can't think of his name. But yeah, looks like we got a full panel. I still need a couple people for WrestleMania. So if you guys Stampede or anybody else, you guys know anybody, I have like a couple of seats open for the April 15th. We will be covering both nights of WrestleMania on April 15th. So that's going to be a long stream. So look forward to that. So next Wednesday, you guys make sure to set that notification bell. It's going to be Carlos also as well for both shows. So it's going to be a big panel next Wednesday night for Stand and Deliver. So you guys, but Peter, I definitely agree with you there. I just don't know if WWE is going to pull the trigger. So let's get started. Obviously 20 minutes in already. Tonight's Raw was from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. We're going to see the WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta defend his title against Judgment Day. Triple A Mega Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio making a return after being out for a week. We're going to see the best in the world, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Obviously, we were talking about that at the end of the show. Grayson Waller against the young OG Javon Evans. We're going to see a tag team match, basically a number one contender match, which Bailey and Wwe Valkyrie going up against Kabuki Warrior, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then a non-title match, WWE World Tag Team Champions, the Usos, main event Jey Uso, Big Jim, Jimmy Uso versus the Visions, Austin Theory, and the Maverick Logan Paul. The man Becky Lynch will address her attack on WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee. In the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar reacts to the ruler over Femi answering his WrestleMania 42 Open Challenge. They've already announced several matches next week for the Raw at MSG. Obviously, I believe Brock and Roman are advertised for next week. Well, I know Brock is. I'm not sure if Roman's. I know he's got to miss one Raw in between now and Mania. I know Brock's going to be on there. I saw the poster. Bailey and Wwe Valkyrie have a tag team title match, which against Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, which is ultimately going to lead to same shit we saw Friday on multiple teams. That's going to be a four-way women's match at WrestleMania with Bailey and Lyra, Charlotte and Alexa, the Bella Twins, and Nia and Lash. That's how I see that playing out. So we got that match. We got Jimmy and Jay again against Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a street fight. Possibly could see CM Punk or somebody cost the Usos the tag titles next week. I don't know. I don't know if they still running it back. I think Brian Breaker returns next week. He's getting close. They're working at the PC and stuff. So that's a good place to have him come back. Attack Seth Rollins. I know he's arrested, but it's all storyline shit. For the restraining order. Also next week, let's see what else we got. Bailey and Meyer versus Nia and Lash. The street fight with the Usos against Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Brock Lesnar's back. Io Sky going up against Raquel Rodriguez. So they're definitely not doing that at Mania. They're circling back to the Io, Asuka, Kairi Sane stuff. So we do have 6 matches now, final for WrestleMania. So looking forward to that. So the show opens up with Dirty Dominic Mysterio shown entering the building alongside the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Champion, and who will face Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan arrested Judgment Day. Bailey and Wwe Valkyrie then shown talking in the back. They will face Kabuki Warriors tonight. WWE World Tag Team Champions, the Usos, are shown arriving. Javon Evans is also shown entering the building. He will face Grayson Waller. Javon Evans then greets. We saw him get the living shit speared out of him at Royal Rumble. I showed speed. Is he going to have a part of WrestleMania? We'll see. So Michael Cole, Corey Graves, obviously on announced team. We get a video package looking back at the start of Raw from last week, obviously with the Brock Lesnar over Femi stuff. And out comes the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, accompanied by a much cleaner, not beat up Paul Heyman. They didn't waste any time on the merchandise with the FAF5. Brock Lesnar come out with the FAF5 shirt. So WWE always looking to make that money, capitalize on that merch. So he had the FAF5 shirt on. Brock did. So Brock said something to Paul. I don't know what he said before Paul went into his introduction of Brock. Paul then said he does not like the Oba chant from the crowd. Paul then said, "You're pissing off Brock Lesnar." Paul then says the reason you're pissing him off is because of what happened last week. Paul then says Brock laid to waste 5, 10, 15, 20 masked men all over the ringside area. Paul then says he got distracted by Seth Rollins. Paul then says that is when a man so overhyped by WWE invoked his gag reflex and comes down and takes advantage of the fact that Brock was in 20 fights and distracted by Seth Rollins. Paul then says he's talking about Wwe Raw. Paul then says this is the saddest part of it all. Paul then says, how many times have we heard the same narrative coming out of the WWE hype machine? Paul then says, when Brock Lesnar conquered the Undertaker streak, did he get revenge? Paul then says, no. Oh yeah, he did. He did mention Ambrose. And no, Jon Moxley is not coming back to WWE. He also mentioned Bobby Lashley as well. I don't know about Lashley coming back, but I know for a fact that Moxley is not coming back to WWE. I get sick of all the people like, oh, they're coming to WWE. They're not coming back. Paul then says Paul then says then they came to the people who were supposed to be the ones who beat the 21 and 1 streak. And this is when he goes to mention some of the people. Goldberg, Braun Strowman, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, or John Cena. Paul then says it won't be over Femi. We got his WrestleMania moment by putting his foot on Lesnar's chest and pointing to the sign. Paul Heyman then says that's his WrestleMania moment. Paul then says Femi will be victimized and conquered by the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. The lights then go off. We know what time it is for that with the little strut. Femi makes his way down to the ring. Enters the ring. Both men move closer to the center of the ring. Brock then goes for an F5, but Oba escapes and he clotheslines Brock Lesnar with authority over the top rope into the floor, and Brock looks absolutely stunned at ringside, and so is Paul Heyman. Paul then pleads with Brock to walk it off and go to the back. Brock shouts that Oba isn't that lucky. Brock was laughing it off, but this is a good way for Brock. All the reports and people out there that said it wasn't happening. I know Oba's gotten one over on Brock 2 weeks in a row. I fully expect Brock to F5 Oba Femi before WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to have Oba dominate every single week, but if they do, then Oba may not win at WrestleMania, which is absolutely the wrong call. Good segment. I loved it. Not too much. Didn't overstay its welcome. Still made Oba look strong. Brock's going to look strong no matter what. He knows the wrestling business. He's going to do what's best for the wrestling business, whether you like it or not. So then we get a Dominic Mysterio promo video. Dominic says this match shouldn't even be happening. Dominic then says it's all Finn Balor's fault that he lost the Intercontinental Championship, which we're going to be seeing that demon arise, I think. Not tonight, but soon. Maybe WrestleMania. Dominic then says Balor got what he deserved. Dominic then says now he can focus on Penta. Dominic then says he's the king of the luchadors. Corey Graves then hypes a rematch with Penta for the Intercontinental title for later on in the show. Which this was very predictable that Finn Balor was going to get involved. So then we get the running back, but we got a new character for Jey Uso, which I like. Like I said, CM Punk mentioned a couple weeks ago who the real tribal chief is, and Jey Uso is unhinged at this point. WWE World Tag Team Champion Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso make their way down to the ring. The first match of the crowd, they go through the crowd, followed by the Vision. This is a non-title match. So the match starts off with Jey and Austin Theory locking up. Theory applies a side headlock and follows it up with a shoulder tackle. Jey Uso then takes Austin Theory down and tags Jimmy in. Austin Theory then applies a side headlock to Jimmy. Logan Paul then makes a blind tag. Jimmy Uso then runs into a big boot. Logan Paul then clotheslines Jimmy Uso, sending him over to the timekeeper's area. Logan Paul then sends Jimmy Uso into the corner. He then hits an uppercut, tagged Austin Theory back in. Low rating, 5 point. Yeah, the match wasn't great. Hopefully the next week will be better in a street fight. We'll see. I mean, hell, we could have new tag team champions next week. For all we know, I doubt it. But it's possible. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what Jimmy and Jay is doing. They're running it back again at MSG. I mean, it's got a step with the street fight. So, I mean, I don't know. Triple H loves trilogies. So, we'll see what they do. See if they gotta have something to do. LA Knight's just still stuck in this vortex. Just absolutely crazy. So, sorry, Logan clothesline Jimmy, sending him over the timekeeper's area. Logan sent Jimmy in the corner. He hits an uppercut, tagged Austin Theory. The Vision then hit a suplex to Jimmy Uso. Austin Theory then hits a series of right hands to Jimmy Uso. He slams Jimmy to the mat. Logan Paul is now the legal man. He applies a side headlock. Jimmy then fires back with a step-up enziguri. Jey Uso then comes in and takes the fight to Austin Theory. Jey Uso then hits a right hand to Austin Theory. Austin Theory then hits a forearm to Jey. But, so when Austin Theory's coming from away from that backside ringside corner, he drags the top ringside, the top part of the top ring post off with him. Turnbuckle pad. And just kind of throws it back behind him, which I thought was going to play a factor, but ultimately it didn't. I mean, we've seen him before, and the last time is now tournament in the finals, but what the fuck else are they going to do with Gunther? I read something about, somebody put something on X today that was Seth and Jericho is absolutely the fuck not. I don't know. These people just come up with this the weirdest shit. Jericho may be getting close, but it's definitely not Seth versus Jericho. That is the most outlandish shit that I've heard in my entire life. I don't know what they're doing with Gunther. Personally, if it was me and I had the pen, away from sources and wrestling news outlets, I would do Gunther and Dragunov. I mean, just because we know they're going to fucking tear the house down. But I do think we're going to get Carmelo and Dragunov again. And I did mention yesterday on Scoop where I said that Vikingo is going to be involved in the Intercontinental Championship thing with Penta coming up. So, if you were listening closely, Corey Hayes made mention to that Penta was one that defend that Intercontinental Championship over in AAA, and that will be against Vikingo. So that was from Scoops yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Gunther or LA Knight. Jay goes, so the turnbuckle comes off. He goes for the cover, but Jay kicks out 2. Jay hits Austin Theory with a spear. He heads to the top rope, but Logan Paul trips him up. And then Jimmy Uso comes from around the side of the ring. He sends Jimmy into the turnbuckle. Logan Paul then tries to use some brass knuckles, but LA Knight comes from behind to ambush Logan Paul. He sends Logan Paul into the ring post. LA Knight then slides the brass knuckles into the ring, and this kind of starts the story with Jey Uso and the different character. Jey Uso puts the brass knuckles on, and he knocks out Austin Theory. So the Vision get the win via DQ, but we have a rematch next week at MSG. The Usos will be defending the tag team championships against Austin Theory and Logan Paul in a street fight. After the match, an irate Jey Uso gets back in the ring and knocks Logan Paul out with the brass knuckles as well. So Jey is off. He's unhinged. So we then take a look at what happened between CM Punk and Roman Reigns last week. Like I said on Scoops yesterday, it was reported by Body Slam as well. lot of the stuff that was, not all of the stuff, but a lot of stuff that was said in the promo was a little bit ad-libbed, off script. I believe it was AJ that didn't want Larry brought up. I don't have confirmation on that. I just seen what Body Slam reported. So we take a look back at the battle between the El Grande and Los Grande Americanos last week. After the Cena match in the AJ program, Gunther was in my top 10. Now they have Gunther was in my top 5. I mean, what they were doing with his character, from Goldberg to Cena to Styles, I thought they really had something going, but WWE kind of backed themselves into a corner stampede, I feel like, because there's just so many people that he can retire. Obviously, the planned match for Gunther was Rey Mysterio. Not saying it was his retirement match, never said that, but that definitely was the plan for him going to WrestleMania, and obviously Rey Mysterio got hurt, so what are we going to do, you know? I mean, there's nothing for him to do if Rey can't go, so. We then see Byron Saxton with Los Americanos, which I've been talking about on Scoops as well. I do believe we're going to see a mask versus mask match, but I don't think it's the end of all the Grande Americanos. But we need to get Chad Gable out of that mask. But him getting that Intercontinental. It does look like they're kind of hinting around with Penta, maybe Dragon Lee. I could see maybe a Penta, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and maybe one other or something, in like a Fatal 4-Way or something at WrestleMania. The Dragon Lee did ask for a rematch tonight, so. Byron asked about what happened last week and how does the El Grande Americano. What's going on, Raymond? Shout out to Raymond. Good to see you. Raymond also will be a part of the Stand and Deliver prediction show. He will be in the comments, but he will be a part of it as well. So shout out to Raymond. That will be his birthday too. That's his birthday night, April 1st. So make sure everybody that's in for the stream, set that reminder. Make sure you share this YouTube link with your friends, guys. StreamYard kind of fucked me on the shorts. Now I'm only able to generate 6 shorts a month, which is a stream probably at least 20 shows a month. So some shows are going to have to take precedence on these shorts. Some shows are not going to be able to get shorts. And with the pay-per-view is coming up, like I really got to be, well, that'll be April. Hopefully that's a new month, but I don't know when the month started. It literally was not this yesterday, so I don't know what changed, but yeah. So Raymond gives us Raw episode 8 out of 10. Yeah, at least 7.58. I think it was pretty slow up until the end, to be honest with you. No, a lot of predictable stuff, but the end was great. The original El Grande Americano says he stole Grande's mask. Robert then mentions that he stole the sword. He then says he cannot steal Mexican culture. He then says you cannot steal the hearts of the American people. Grande then says he showed the world that you're nothing but a scam and a fraud. He then says there's only one Grande Americano. Grande then says he will beat original Americano one more time and take the mask off, like I just said. Mask versus mask. WrestleMania. Take the mask off his ugly mug and return it to the people of Mexico. So then we get the former 2-time Intercontinental Champion, multi-time champion, future Hall of Famer, man, Becky Lynch, makes her way down to the ring. Becky Lynch grabs the mic, starts off about getting booed. Lynch admits the WWE Universe got sick of seeing her. Obviously, she's talking about taking the time off, about AJ Lee taking 10 years off. She said she took 10 months off, winning all these world titles, to come back and carry out the Intercontinental title. Lanston says she took some time off to spend with her family who appreciate her. Lanston says she takes pride in being the one to make the Women's Intercontinental Championship matter the most. Langston says she tried to take a break with the people she loved, but noticed that her daughter was skipping around the house and singing AJ Lee's Light It Up theme song. Becky Lynch says her daughter doesn't realize she is the greatest female wrestler. Obviously, all the fucking people say it. Who did she say? It's in her fucking promo every time. Sports Illustrated, Bleacher Report, everybody says she's the greatest. Becky Lynch then promises to humble AJ Lee again, and out comes WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee. Becky Lynch retreats. AJ Lee then grabs the mic and says every time the two stepped in the ring together, she wiped the floor with her. AJ then admits that Becky Lynch likes to play dirty and cheat. AJ then lays a challenge for another match, and this time it will take place at WrestleMania 42. Becky Lynch then says AJ Lee skipped right into her trap. Becky Lynch then says AJ Lee has no idea what she's gotten herself into. She is WrestleMania. Becky Lynch calls WrestleMania her domain. Becky Lynch vows to reclaim her Women's Intercontinental Championship and end AJ Lee at WrestleMania. She talked about the last time that AJ fought at WrestleMania. The next day, she was in the office turning in her termination papers. Then Becky Lynch welcomes AJ Lee to the big time. I still expect maybe they have an I Quit match or something. I don't know. I think they'll have some sort of stipulation. So then another segment, I keep telling people in a separate chat with like 20 people, pay attention to the Usos, pay attention to everything. Everything is telling a story. We see the Usos at LA Knight walking in the back. The Usos thank Knight. Jay then says you got to get got because there are consequences. Knight then says he is starting to sound like Roman. So we heard Tama tell Solo that, and it's the second time that LA Knight said something about that to Jey Uso. Jay then tells LA Knight they might have a problem if you keep talking like that. Jimmy then says, just like CM Punk is going to find out, mind your words when you talk about his family. Like I said, and you see the Rock picture on the WWE truck in the background, and social media and IWC went fucking bananas. But I will say this. If Final Boss, The Rock, is going to invade or be involved in a storyline at WrestleMania, it has to be this one. The Cody shit is sold out, like it played out, it's old as fuck. Like, no, I mean, I don't know. It could be him on the phone with Randy, but for me, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, this stuff is family tied with Roman and Punk, so it'd make more sense. Especially with Roman taking orders from Jay. So, yeah, I don't think Randy Orton is on the phone with the Final Boss. I'll just say that. We then see Javon Evans warming up backstage. He will face Grayson Waller next. Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller make their way down to the ring for the next match of the night. I don't know. It's just something. Either Xavier's going to be out a while or Kofi might go back face. I don't think Javon's turning heel. But I could see Javon and Kofi maybe linking up. That would be a great tag team. Have Danhausen curse Dwayne so his movies will tank. Oh wait, I mean Moana's, I mean, it's a good kids movie. A lot of The Rock's movies are pretty good. It would be funny if he cursed him though. Danhausen cursing everybody. He cursed fucking I Show Speed tonight. Danhausen's fucking great. I didn't get to see much in AEW. I just started watching AEW a couple of weeks ago. Stampede sent me the link, and I found out I could watch it on YouTube TV, on TBS. So I'm just now starting to watch it. If WWE ever starts to really fucking suck, then there may be an AEW recap show coming to the UVP show channel. Not happening right now because I'm really busy. Next week, this week barely not. five streams this week, but next week I'll be streaming every fucking day. So not right now with AEW, but you never know. So we get Grayson Waller and the young OG Javon Evans. The match starts off with both men locking up. Waller applies a side headlock and hits shoulder tackle. Waller then kicks Evans. Evans flips over Waller using the rope to avoid him. Evans delivers a drop kick and then hits a slingshot, head scissors, and follows it up with a foot dive. Evans goes up top and hits a crossbody for a near fall. That's funny. Hopefully they get clipped. Have Danhausen curse Dwayne so his movies will tank. Shout out to the 111 people we have watching the Raw Recap live tonight. I don't have super chats, so now fucking StreamYard's fucking me on my shorts, so gonna be messing me up on my watch hours, but it's okay. Evans, Grayson Waller roast Javon Evans, 7.45. Waller is extremely, yes. I love Grayson Waller. I think he's great. Phenomenal. Evans goes up top and hits a crossbody for a near fall. Grayson then hits a knee to the midsection, followed by some knees to the head, and sends Javon to the floor. The referee holds Waller back, and Waller gestures Kofi to do something to Evans, but Kofi doesn't do it. Like I said, what are we leading to with Kofi and Javon? Kofi's been recruiting Javon over the last couple of weeks. Evans then is sent back into the ring, and Waller has some words for Kofi for not helping, and Kofi says he doesn't want to get Waller disqualified. Javon then hits a plancha. They then return to the ring. Grayson delivers a dropkick to the knee, and he sends Javon into the turnbuckles. Evans then hits a chop and an Irish whip. Waller then sends Evans to the apron, and he hits a forearm. Waller then slides to the floor and clotheslines Javon into the ringside barrier. Javon then leaps over the ringside barrier and punches Waller. Evans then goes to the ringside barrier and he hits a swanton onto Grayson Waller. They then return to the ring. Waller sets Evans into the ropes, hits some elbows and a snapmare. Waller then hits a dropkick to the back for a count of 2. Waller then kicks Evans in the leg and begins to choke him. Javon then blocks a suplex and goes for a inside cradle and only gets a count of 2. Waller then hits a European uppercut to Javon and kicks Evans in the corner and then delivers another thrust kick. Evans then fires back with some punches and a spin kick to the back. Evans then hits a springboard clothesline and a rebound spinning heel kick for a count of 2. Waller then kicks Javon in the face, but then runs into a boot. Waller then hits a riptide knee. Javon back in control. It's a German suplex. Waller then runs into a rolling flatliner. Javon then heads to the top rope, but Waller drops Evans on the top of his skull. He then goes for the cover, but Javon kicks out at 2. Waller then sends Evans shoulder first into the post. Evans then delivers a kick and hits a Hurricane Rana from the top rope and follows it up. Oh, that was Javon, that fucking Hurricane Rana that he hit. Oh, Grayson Waller. Oh my God, Kofi's mouth dropped. And then the bounce that he got on the OG cutter for the 1, 2, 3 Javon Evans is fucking phenomenal. He gets the win over Grayson Waller. After the match, Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller, you can still hear Kofi saying, I didn't want to get involved, didn't want to get you disqualified. I wanted you to be able to win the match. So we then see Adam Pearce outside the trainer's room, and Paul Heyman shows up. Paul says he wants a match for Madison Square Garden where the Usos defend the tag titles against Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a street fight. That is official for next week. Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus the Usos for the World Tag Team Championship. Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Brock Lesnar is going to be live. What else we got next week? Bailey and Lyra Valkyria versus the Irresistible Forces for the tag titles as well for next week. So good card. And Io and Raquel, like I said. So Adam then says Paul has given him something to consider. Paul then yells for a moment and he thanks Adam Pearce. Pierce then asks Paul where is he going, and Pierce says Paul asked for time to address Seth Rollins, and now is the time. Paul then says he is sick of it all, and he tells Pierce okay. Pearson says he is not going to miss Paul at all, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. We then see Byron Saxton in the interview area with the original El Grande Americano. Byron tells the original what Grande said earlier. Original Americano says he will speak to the people in English. Original Americano then says last week that imposter disrespected everything he stands for, what he did in the match. Original Americano then says that is why he did what he did during Grande's ceremony. Original then says there isn't enough room for the and WWE for both of them. Original Americano then said there is only one original Grande Americano. And then Original Americano then says gracias, thank you. So now Paul Heyman is now in the ring. This was fucking great, funny promo. Heyman starts off by saying he's having a really, really, really bad night. Heyman then says he is relegated to an appearance in Boston, Massachusetts. Heyman then says there is no one left for him to hide behind. Bronson Reed's hurt, Braun Breaker's hurt, which is not on the way back. Logan Paul's halfway unconscious in the back, and so is Austin Theory. He said Bronson and Braun will be back anytime soon. I think Braun Breaker's coming back soon. Heyman then says this leaves him without any member of the division having his back. Heyman then says he's the man who has been pushed too far. Paul Heyman then says he feels the WWE isn't big enough for him and Seth Rollins. Heyman then says he wouldn't step inside. He's not challenging Seth to a match at WrestleMania 42 because he knows he wouldn't win that. Heyman then says he wants Seth Rollins to come down to the ring and put him out of his misery. Heyman then says maybe it is time we do this right here, right now. So he was baiting Seth Rollins. A masked man then approaches the ring, and Heyman says sometimes a man has to do what a man has to do. So the masked man, again, another masked man, that really loves the masked man, then gets on the announce desk, and it is Seth Rollins. Heyman then tells Seth he is here. He tells Seth, here is his moment, let's do it. Heyman then says he is standing in Seth's ring. Seth pulls off the mask, and the Boston police show up to tell Seth to get down off the announce desk. Heyman is laughing, and Seth gestures to Heyman like he got him. Heyman then says he settles this like a man. Heyman then says that his family are snitches and file injunctions. Heyman then says Seth is going to jail and prison as a felony for the restraining order. He got 50 feet from Paul. Heyman then says because you're a felon, your wife will divorce you. Heyman then says she will get married to half of the locker room. Heyman then says social services will get called, but it will be okay because he will adopt Seth Rollins' daughter. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Seth then runs to the ring, pissed off. He calls Paul a son of a bitch. He escapes the police. Heyman then throws a mic at Seth, and Seth takes Paul Heyman down. The police officers then handcuff Seth, and they take him away through the crowd, and Seth is cussing Paul out. I would have been cussing Paul out too if he said that. So it was a good segment. I think we see Braun Breaker soon. I think we see him next week. I think next week is the biggest stage at Madison Square Garden. I think this is where we set up. Seth and Braun Breaker and Seth don't need a whole long ass build. But I think we get it set up next week. If Braun's coming back for WrestleMania, he will be on Raw next week. So then the Kabuki Warriors make their way out to the ring for the next match of the night, and they will be going up against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. One contender match for those tag team championships. So the match starts off with Bayley and Asuka. Kairi then swings at Bayley, and Asuka pulls her to the mat. Asuka then runs into a boot. Bailey then hits a forearm to Sane, and Lyra Valkyria tags in. Lyra carries Asuka to the mat. Bailey tags back in and hits an elbow to the back. Bailey hits a couple of clotheslines, goes for the pinfall, and gets a count of 2. Bailey then misses a dropkick to the corner, and Asuka hits a pop-up knee to Bailey. Kairi Sane then hits a punch to Lyra, tags in Asuka, and Kairi Sane delivers some kicks. Kairi then hits a forearm to the back, and she chokes Bailey in the ropes. Asuka then keeps choking Bailey also in the ropes. Kairi then hits some kicks and a sliding D into the corner. Asuka then tags in, and she hits the running hip attack on Bailey. Bailey fires back with some punches, and Asuka hits a back heel kick. Asuka hits some karate kicks and several other kicks. Kairi tags in, and Asuka Irish whips Bailey into Kairi Sane's boot. Kairi then locks in a tarantula, and she goes up top. Kairi then hits a forearm and goes for the pin, but gets a count of 2. Bailey then hits a forearm, and Kairi delivers some forearms of her own. Stampede with his ratings by Bailey and Lyra Valkyria with Kabuki Warrior 7.40. A lot better than the Bella Twins against, which I love. I'm not gonna lie, Stampede, don't hate me, but I am a huge Nikki Bella fan. But in the ring, not so much. That match probably was fucking god awful. I do love the mantra and like the old school like Bella's, but that match Friday was terrible. I think Bailey and Lyra Valkyria win the tag titles at WrestleMania. It all started last year. Lyra won the titles. Bailey was supposed to be in the match. I think this is going to be a full circle moment for Bailey and Lyra. I think Bailey and Lyra win the tag titles at WrestleMania this year. Bailey gets a forearm, and Kairi. I'm sorry. I'm way behind. Lyra comes back in. It's a crossbody from the top rope. She follows with ensiguri. Lyra then muscles Kairi Sane up and hits her with a sit-down powerbomb for a count of 2. Yeah, it was pretty low. Here's just proportion with the Bella Twins 2.5. Yeah, we're gonna get the Bellas against Charlotte and Alexa this week, so I'm hoping for a lot better than that. Lyra then runs into a big boot. Asuka then hits a code breaker and follows it up with a neck breaker for a near fall. Lyra then hits Asuka with a spinning heel kick. Lyra then hits a fisherman buster. Bailey hits an elbow drop for a count of 2. Kairi then heads to the top rope and stomps Lyra. She then goes for the cover, but Bailey breaks up the cover. Bailey then hits a Bailey to belly to Asuka on the announce desk, bringing out that love to see it from Bailey. She's trying to do what she can do to get to WrestleMania. She then goes for an elbow drop from the barricade, but Asuka moves out of harm's way back in the ring. Lyra hits Kairi Sane for the Nightwing for the 1, 2, 3, and Bailey and Lyra have won the match. Now they're going to be involved in the tag title match. I mean, they have a tag title match next week. After the match, Jackie Redmond gets in the ring. She congratulates Bailey and Lyra on their win so close to WrestleMania. She then asks if there's any pressure to get to Vegas. Bailey says they don't feel pressure. Lyra then says, tell Lash Legend and Nia Jax that you know they're the ones who can beat them. Obviously, Lyra was talking about Lash and Nia already talking about Bailey and them having them in their mouth. Bailey then tells Nia and Lash if they're big and bad as they are, they will be in Madison Square Garden. Obviously, she said something about the best wrestling hometown or something, Boston booed. But then she said, oh, but we're going to win next week. And then she got them to cheer. They replaced Lash with Nikita Lyons. The match could have got a negative rating. Yeah, I agree. It was really fucking bad. I love the Bella Twins. I do watch her podcast, but always like Nikki. But in the ring, that match last week was just god awful. So we take a look back at the new thing they're doing for the NXT Origin with the former WWE Women's SmackDown Champion over 200 plus days, Tiffany Stratton. Good little promo thing for her on NXT Origin. I enjoyed that. Tiffany is looking absolutely fucking ripped. I do think we're headed for a triple threat at WrestleMania with Tiffany, Julia, and Chelsea Green. I really do. I don't think Tiffany wins the title Friday either. I think we're going to see some shenanigans. Chelsea probably gets involved. And Alba Fire, which another one needs to go down to NXT, but that's for another day. We then see Penta with ISO Speed. He wants Penta to show him how to do the Penta walk. Dragon Lee then shows up and he speaks in Spanish. It looks like the two will face one another down the road. He said if he wants a rematch, he can get it. So Byron Saxton is now in the interview area with the young OG Javon Evans. Byron then congratulates him on his win. Evans oh shit, my phone just fucked up. Sorry guys. I don't know why it does this shit. I have like so many fucking notes. I need to go through. When I get done with the stream, I'm gonna. Now that I can't do shorts for every show, I'm gonna go through and delete some of this shit. Slowing my phone down. Sorry, guys. I have a lot of notes. Alright, so Byron Saxton is now in the interview area with Javon. Byron congratulates him on his win. Javon says he feels great. Byron then asks Evans about Kofi and the offers that Kofi has made to him. Evans says Kofi is an OG. Evans then says he is a former world champion. Javon then says he doesn't want to be the next Kofi Kingston or his young boy. Evans then says he wants to be the first Javon Evans. Evans then says he wants to accomplish some dreams and goals. Evans then says he is going to be watching the IC title match closely. He has his eyes on Penta. Like I said, I can see Javon Evans being hopefully they do some sort of ladder match. Maybe Dragon Lee, Penta, Javon Evans, and then throw in maybe one or two more. I don't know who they can throw in. So we then see Adam Pearce again. He is with ISO Speed, and we get the newest member of WWE since Elimination Chamber and the #1 merch seller in WWE right now. Danhausen shows up. He wonders how ISO Speed has, I think he's at 180 followers. ISO Speed's like 180 million. Danhausen then asked Speed for his password. He looked at his phone. He's like, yeah, checked out. Yeah, 180 million. He asked Speed for his password and if they can split the profits. ISO Speed says no. Danhausen says no. And he said, well, you can get this. You are cursed. Another good segment with Danhausen with ISO Speed. We then take a look at what happened with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes on SmackDown last week or 2 weeks ago. And then they show what Randy did this past Friday. Cody Rhodes will be live on SmackDown Friday for Pittsburgh. We then go to the back where Asuka telling Kairi Sane that it's her loss, that they lost, this loss is her fault. Asuka then says if Kairi cares about the team, she needs to make it up to her. Asuka then yells at Kairi and walks away. And then up comes Io Sky. As at this point had no direction for WrestleMania. Stops by to tell Kairi Sane they've had it ups and downs, but Kairi does not deserve to be treated like that. Asuka then screams at Kairi, and then Raquel Rodriguez walks up. Io Sky turns into Raquel. She says Io is pathetic. Since Rhea Ripley doesn't care about her, Kairi Sane wouldn't either. Raquel complains about Io helping Stephanie Valcour. Io then says she will interfere again if she has to, and she does her ears gimmick Raquel then challenged Io to meet her in the ring next week. So that is official. Raquel versus Io Sky next week, 1-on-1, Madison Square Garden. So Dominic Mysterio is making his way out to the ring for his match against Penta for the Intercontinental Championship, and Stephanie Vacour attacked Liv Morgan from behind. Liv then sent Stephanie into the LED screen, and they fight all the way into the gorilla position. Liv then lets out some heavy screams. Liv looks absolutely cut. So does Stephanie. I can't wait for that match, but I don't know. The build's okay. A lot better than, well, it was a lot better than Rhea and Jay till this past Friday, but I'm looking forward to Liv and Stephanie. So Dominic makes his way down to the ring, accompanied by JD McCrispy or JD McNugget, JD McDonough, whatever you want to call him, for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a really good match, too. The match I thought with Dominic Mysterio he went after Penta before the bell rang. Dominic then sent Penta in the corner, hits a splash. Penta then hits a Hurricane Rana to Dominic. He follows it up with a backbreaker. Penta then hits Dominic with a super kick. Dominic then has a drop kick, and he follows it up with a suicide dive. Both men are now down and out. Dominic then chopped Penta before sending him back to the ring. Kairi Sane's 0-10, and Asuka is 1-10. Yeah, that's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Both men are now down and out. Dominic then chopped Penta before sending him back to the ring. Penta then hits a series of clotheslines. JD McDonough then hits a cheap shot behind the referee's back. Dominic then hits back-to-back amigos. Penta tries to fight back, but Dominic rolls out of the ring. Penta then launches himself over the top rope, taking Dominic down. Penta then hits a crossbody and hits Dominic with a suplex for a count of 2. 6.75, Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. Penta then goes for a Penta driver, and he hits it. Penta then goes for the cover, but Dominic kicks out at 2. Penta then goes for the Mexican Destroyer, but Dominic Mysterio counters with a driver on his own and goes for the pinfall, gets a count of 2. He lines Penta up for a 619, but Penta hits Dominic with the super kick. JD McDonough then stepped up on the apron, allowing Dominic to hit Penta with the 619. Dominic then goes up to the top rope, but we get the music of the Prince. Hopefully soon, the Demon Finn Balor. Finn then comes out to exchange. JD McDonough meets him in the aisleway. And Finn beats the shit out of JD. Dominic goes for the frog splash, but Penta gets the knees up and rolls Dominic Mysterio up, similar to how Dominic could pin Finn last year in that Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. And Penta pins Dominic to retain the Intercontinental Championship. After the match, Finn gets to the ring and he keeps Dominic from escaping. Finn punches Dominic and he hits a sling blade and run a drop kick. Finn then goes up top, but JD returns to the ring to pull Dominic out of the ring. Finn then goes to the other side of the ring and jumps over the top rope and hits a flip dive onto Dominic and JD. Finn then sends Dominic back into the ring and JD grabs Finn. Finn then hits a GTR and Dominic goes into the crowd to escape. Finn then Finn then drop kicks JD into the turnbuckles. The Finn goes up top and hits him with the coup de grace, and then he stands on the ring, pointing to Dominic Mysterio, saying that you're next. Obviously, that's the direction they're going. Dom and Finn at WrestleMania. It is then announced next week it's live from MSG on Raw. Brock Lesnar will be on Raw. Lash Legend and Nia Jax will defend their women's tag team titles against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Io Sky will face Raquel Rodriguez. Austin Theory and Logan Paul will challenge the Usos for the World Tag Team Championship in a street fight. So as CM Punk is making his way to Gorilla, another thing to pay attention to, Jimmy Uso was there to let CM Punk know that Jay was on a rampage. Like I said, storyline, guys. Jimmy says he won't tell him what to do, but he warns him and says his brother is on the warpath. So CM Punk's music hits. This is obviously by far the best segment of the night. Makes his way down to the ring. Punk starts off by asking the WWE Universe if they heard what Jimmy Uso told him moments ago. Punk then says he wondered if he should watch what he says tonight. Punk then says nobody in the Bloodline family can do anything by themselves. Punk then says they always need help. Punk then says nobody in the Bloodline family can be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Punk then says it's his job to sell the big title match. Punk then admits he's tired of talking. Punk then says Roman Reigns pissed him off last week by calling him old. All the podcasters were talking about that. Punk then says Roman Reigns doesn't get to disrespect him and call him old. Punk then asked Boston if he is old. Boston definitely agreed that he's old. The fans erupt with the yes chants when he said asked if he was old, the Daniel Bryan yes chant. Punk then says he would be lying if he said he wasn't old. Punk then says he isn't ashamed of being old. Punk then says he is proud of it. Punk then says he is proud of who he is and what he has done. Punk then says the older he gets, the better he gets. Punk then says age is just a number. Punk then says he is old, but he is not insecure. He said something about the gray hair in his beard. He doesn't dye it just for men in it like Roman Reigns. He's talked about jizz and all kinds of other shit. It's just wild. Punk then said he feels great and he calls himself the best in the world. Punk then said Roman Reigns has already lost because he underestimated him. Punk then promises to teach Roman Reigns a lesson at WrestleMania 42. And then out comes main event Jey Uso. Makes his way down to the ring to confront Punk. Punk then asks Jey if he wants to talk or throw hands. Jey Uso then says he doesn't like Punk running his mouth about his family. Punk then asks Jey Uso if he wants a rematch for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So then out comes Jimmy Uso, wondering what Jey is doing. Jimmy Uso then says he wants Jey Uso to leave CM Punk to Roman Reigns. Jey Uso then wonders where Roman is. And out comes the OTC1 Roman Reigns music hits. He makes his way down to the ring. Roman Reigns then looks at Jimmy and Jey, and he looks at Punk. Punk then puts his hands behind his back in case Roman wants to get the first shot in. Roman then says, last he checked, you already had a tag match, talking to Jimmy. Jimmy then says, that is right. Roman then says, it is done now. Jimmy then says, that's right. Roman then says, he's going to say this respectfully as he can. Roman then says, get your brother and get out of my ring. Interesting there. Old Roman Reigns. 2020 Roman. Punk then tells them to stay because Roman needs the help. Jey then immediately goes after CM Punk, fires a punch. Punk punches him, but Jimmy goes to the corner as well. He doesn't hit Punk, but he grabs Punk. And when he does, Roman Reigns comes from the other side of the corner and delivers a Superman punch to CM Punk. So Jey is then on the outside, and he's barking, telling Roman he knows what he needs to do. Roman Reigns then spears CM Punk. Jey then tells Roman to get him, and Roman gets Punk to the floor. Roman sends Punk into the ring post a few times. Roman then says to powerbomb Punk through the table, and he does. He delivers a massive powerbomb through the table. The whatever Roman ties his hair up with comes down like the old tribal chief coming back. He doesn't leave the ringside area. Like I said, Punk was fucking pummeled by Roman Reigns. But they shot the camera down there at CM Punk, and you can see CM Punk is actually laughing after getting fucking powerbombed through the fucking table. Roman has completely lost it. Roman continues to rain down right hands on CM Punk. Roman then walks off as the show comes to a close, but CM Punk is laughing, and they're asking CM Punk if he needs help. and he said he is not the one that needs help, that it is Roman Reigns. That is how the show comes to a close. Definitely a great ending to Monday Night Raw tonight. Like I said, the show is pretty good, 7.5, 8 out of 10. The ending was the best. I feel like spotty on some other parts, but we're less than let's see, we're about 21 plus days or so. 24, 25, 26 days from WrestleMania. So we're not far. So, that is it, guys, for the Raw recap. Obviously, next week at MSG, we're going to see Io Sky go one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. Brock Lesnar will be there. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria will go for the Women's Tag Team Championships against the Irresistible Forces. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso against Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a street fight. And I think that's it for matches. I got the 2 tag title matches, Io and Raquel. I may be leaving a match out, but I don't know. Where the fuck is Gunther? That's what I want to know. But yeah, it's a pretty good show. Lot to unpack. So shout out to Alexis. Good to see you actually watching on YouTube. Shout out to WWE Content for reposting the stream. Shout out to Stampede, who will be a part of the I'll talk about that later on. The Stand Deliver Prediction Show next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Full panel. Shout out to Peter Anthony Fernandez 1024. Stampede as always. Alright, guys, before I go to my outro, obviously, as I did at the beginning, a couple of little announcements. April 26th, I will be starting LFG Season 3 recap on Sundays at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, I'll make another post. Next Wednesday night, April 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern, will be the NXT Stand and Deliver Prediction Show, as we will be getting NXT Stand and Deliver next Saturday from St. Louis, Missouri on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will also be doing a Stand and Deliver recap show that Saturday night after Stand and Deliver goes off the air. But make sure you guys set the reminders for next Wednesday once I get the thumbnail put out. Full panel. I do have 2 or maybe at least 2, maybe 3, 2 spots available for WrestleMania. So if you guys know anybody, make sure to send me a DM. I will make a repost tomorrow with everybody that's going to be on Stand and Deliver. If there's anybody extra that needs to be added to be put on a waiting list in case someone drops, obviously I'll put you there. Or if you want to be shifted to WrestleMania, I have a couple of spots open. And the WrestleMania prediction show will be predicting both cards. That will be April the 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to the outro. Tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up the rest of this week and next week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recap Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, guys. Crazy ending of Monday Night Raw tonight. We're less than 4 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away. Well, a little over 3 weeks from WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. We have 6 matches announced for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Bakor, Femi versus Brock Lesnar, and now AJ Lee defends against Becky Lynch. Shout out to everybody from the DWE, the CEO that has a table Miami the Great, which I believe will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for Inside the Mind. Make sure you guys tune into that as we're getting closer to the NFL draft. So it's definitely a good show. If you're a big sports fan and gambling, Miami puts on a good show on Tuesdays and Thursdays for Inside the Mind. Also, the Unseen Blinghausen, one half of Talk It Up podcast and WB Radio. Make sure you give her, Miami, a follow on X and Talk It Up podcast, a subscription on YouTube. They're also on Spotify and Twitch as well. Shout out to Director Red, World of Greg from DWE and After Sun podcast as well. Make sure you give them a follow on X and subscription on YouTube. And also, everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. Not this Tuesday, tomorrow, but next Tuesday, I'm gonna be doing double duty. Obviously, not on this channel. The day before the Stand and Deliver prediction show, I will be a guest on the Wrestling Divas podcast with Lady Alpha and Autumn, March 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can catch me live on there. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Make sure you give them a follow and a subscription on YouTube as well. And then, obviously, when I get done on their show later on that night, I will be covering NXT at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which will be the go home show for NXT right before Stand and Deliver. And the next night, we get the GOAT panel of the NXT Stand and Deliver prediction show, which will at least have 8 people live on YouTube. So that's going to be phenomenal. Can't wait for that next week. So you guys make sure to set the reminder for that. By the way, you can find me on my socials, scrolling across the bottom of the screen in blue. All my links are in my bio. And make sure, if you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that notification bell where you can be reminded when I go live. If you are following me on X, my YouTube channel is pinned at the top. So if you ever get a chance, to make sure to share, retweet that YouTube channel. If you got friends that enjoy content and you enjoy my content, share it with your friends. Trying to get as many subscribers as I can, because now I'm also not going to be able to put out as many shorts as I have been able to, because StreamYard being a little bitch. So they're limiting me to 6 generated a month, which is not very many. I do 5 shows a week, which is 20 shows a month. So there's going to be 14 shows a month that I don't get to put out shorts for, but it's okay. I'll do the important shows, obviously, stuff like that. So it'll be fine. So if you are looking for me on X, if you're not following me, you can find me on X at EVPCJP. Instagram, same handle. For Instagram and TikTok, until I upgrade to the super expensive plan on StreamYard, I'm not streaming to Instagram and TikTok yet. I'm mainly just using those for promotion of videos that Miami and Greg make from my YouTube shows. But if you're looking for me on Instagram, it's at EVPCJP. On TikTok, it's at Brady the Goat 21, not THE, at Brady DA Goat 21. And also, they made a reference tonight about Logan Paul and Tom Brady. They show what happened at the Fanatics football game this weekend. I always expect to see Tom Brady in some sort of fashion at WrestleMania. He is a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. So him and Logan Paul have been going at it for a while. But yeah, if you're looking for me on TikTok, at Brady the Goat 21. Last but not least, if you guys go back and watch the stream, make sure you spam the likes on this. I had tons of YouTube comments. Love to see that. Thank you, Stampede and Peter and Alexis and Raymond as well. Make sure you guys like this video. If you go back and watch it and you haven't watched it live tonight, if you have any comments, make sure to leave the comments. I will go back in there and answer it. If you're not subscribed to the EVP show, please do so. If you can't find it on my X, you're not following me, you can go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show. Plenty of videos, plenty of shorts, a lot of content every week. You guys will enjoy it. Cover everything from WWE to NXT to TNA, and we'll be covering LFG soon. All prediction shows for WWE and NXT, and also recaps of the prediction shows. So yeah, at the EVP show. So make sure you give me a subscription on YouTube. Help me get 200-300 subscribers. Share with your friends and family that enjoy wrestling, enjoy good wrestling content. So what I have coming up next tomorrow, which is already midnight, it's almost 1 a.m. on the East Coast. It's already Tuesday, but I'll just say Tuesday. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll be live for your NXT recap. Wednesday, I'm off. Thursday, I will be live for the Go Home show right before TNA Sacrifice, or your TNA recap show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday night, Cody Rhodes returns to SmackDown. I will be back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Friday night for your SmackDown recap. Saturday, I'm off. And Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, make sure you guys tune in. It's Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern, episode number 13. Next week, I already have my schedule lined out. Next Monday, I'll be back from the Raw from MSG at 11 p.m. Eastern Time next Monday. Next Tuesday, you can catch me live on the Wrestling Divas podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then come join me here on the EVP Show channel at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home show right before NXT Stand and Deliver for the NXT recap. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern will be the NXT Stand and Deliver prediction show. Next Thursday, I'll be back from the fallout of TNA Sacrifice for your TNA recap show. Next Friday, I'll be back again for your SmackDown recap show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then next Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, once Stand and Deliver goes off the air, whether it's 10:30, 10:45, I will be back for your NXT Stand and Deliver recap show. And then next Sunday, to finish out the 7-day week next week, catch me at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. And there will be only one more Scoop show but after that, before WrestleMania. Sunday, I won't be doing a Scoop show that week. So yeah, next week's a 7-day week. A lot of content, a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. Prediction show. Looking forward to that. That being said, thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. Looks like 156 viewers, either on my YouTube, Miami's X, or my X. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your NXT recap. I am the EVP from the EVP Show and the Golden Boy of DWE. DWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT recap. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Good night, everyone.